Alright, welcome back. So last time we finished the raid on Vault 79, and right now I'm just going to go ahead and meet up with Lou and see what he has to say. Alright, Lou, what's up?
It's you. Guess we got business to settle, huh? Now that it's roll, I'm having some second thoughts again. What if I'm wrong? What if it's all fine? Only reason I wanted to off myself is because I like some of those people. Don't want anything bad to happen to them. But if I'm alive, and I don't go feral, I can help with that. I don't know what to do. You're the first person I feel like I could talk to about it. I appreciate what you're doing and that. You're right. I don't. People count on me, and I can't let them down. Maybe I won't go feral. Even if I do, maybe Yin's will be there to stop me. Sounds like a promise to me.
There we go.
What I expected to keep this time. But you did pull me out of this mess. And I'm glad you did. Gonna be tough to thank Yin's properly. But I'll think of something. You'll see.
And there we go. A little more reputation there. So now, let's go ahead and go with the next part. Let's just head out. Back to camp. Okay. So with Lou all pretty much sorted out, we can go ahead and start the next bit, which is going to be welcome to the neighborhood. So let's go ahead and listen to the Brotherhood message. Probably won't be able to hear it, so I'll just go ahead and recap what it says. That was Paladin Rahmani announcing that the Brotherhood of Steel are back and in Appalachia, and that they're at Fort Atlas, and basically saying, you know, if you want to join, you can go ahead and meet him there. So we're going to go ahead and head over to Fort Atlas, which I believe I may have actually found. Ah, yes, I did. Good. Okay, here at Fort Atlas. Now this is yeah. So this was a little bit different. There was a little event kind of before this Brotherhood part was actually added, where materials are being collected and everything from this guy.
If you're looking to make a difference, you've come to the right place.
So Russell Dorsey here was collecting materials to be contributed to be able to build up Fort Atlas for anticipation of the Brotherhood coming over. So go ahead and chat with him.
Hello, Russell Dorsey, Brotherhood Initiate. Welcome to Fort Atlas.
Word is, Brotherhood needs new soldiers.
Formerly the Atlas Observatory, now headquarters for the Brotherhood of Steel. Of course. What you want to know?
Yep.
The Brotherhood of Steel is well, I guess you'd call it a military organization. Founded originally out in California around when the bombs fell. We're dedicated to rebuilding society and preserving old technology. Keeping the mistakes of the past from being repeated, you know? One of the members from California can tell you more, I'm sure.
Okay.
Stay safe out there.
Oh, well.
Hello, Russell Dorsey, Brotherhood.
Okay.
Looking to sign up? Or just curious? Well, either way, I guess it's not me you want to talk to. Most of the fort's off limits to civilians, but if you're interested, Knight Shin's in charge of the new recruits. He's very serious about protocol and security, so you'll have to speak to him first if you want to get anywhere.
Alright.
Those crater types are tough and nicer than you think, but they can't see past their own profit.
You looking to join up too?
Anyway, so this is actually not too bad of a setup, since you have a nice stash box down here with a weapon workbench and then a power armor station as well.
I'm gonna join up and take on the wasteland.
Armor workbench, cooking. I want to say there's a...
Keep fighting out there.
There's going to be a tinker bench around here somewhere. Probably is. There's even a punch card machine as well, which is nice. Alright, let's head inside.
I have real duties to attend to. The outer perimeter is still insecure, the provisions aren't properly stowed, and we're awash in hopefuls. I have no time to be babysitting civilians.
Your duties are what I say they are, Knight. Your objections are noted, but this is a direct order from your commanding officer. Help us put on a good face for the local people. We've just moved into their backyard. They're nervous. Show them we mean no harm.
If you insist, Paladin. If there's nothing further, I'll have the completed report on your desk shortly.
I expect nothing less from you. As you were, Shin.
Paladin,
All this concrete, place is like a tomb.
Fine. Protect. Preserve.
Alright, let's go ahead and meet up with Knight Shin.
Stay on your toes. The wasteland is merciless.
so if you're here with a request for the Brotherhood, get in line. I don't have time for you right now. Diddy! Initiate Dorsey is supposed to be manning his post at the entrance, not acting as my secretary. Initiate Dorsey is too trusting, but I can't fault his commitment. Perhaps he sees something in you worth our interest. Are you another aspirant to our order?
Yeah, let's go with charisma.
If you mean that, then you are right. But if that's sarcasm, I recommend you stow it. Immediately. Normally, I'd stick you with the other hopefuls until we decide whether you're worthy. But, if you're serious about joining us, you've got good timing. There's something you could do for me that would help the Order and demonstrate your qualities as a candidate. We've had a number of civilians show up here at Fort Atlas, asking for one thing or another from the Brotherhood. People are afraid, or want something, or are looking to involve us in local squabbles. Civilian outreach is not my specialty. There's too much left to do to secure this facility. If you're really interested in helping, save my time. Interview the petitioners, find out what they want, and report back to me. Do this right. Don't make me regret giving you the opportunity. Conduct yourself properly, and we can consider putting you forward as an initiate candidate. I am not a receptionist, civilian. I have actual work to do.
Radiation levels low.
Alright.
Some strange.
You better have something useful to say to me. Oh, can't he come to me himself? What, he needs to requisition some more armor polish? All right. Keep it cool, Sean. So, what's he got to say to me? The problem is that a couple of these Brotherhood clowns showed up and took a bunch of my stuff at gunpoint. Now, I'm a peaceful man. I really am. I sure wasn't equipped to deal with armed thugs requisitioning the little I've managed to put together for myself. Never understood the Raiders. I like the quiet life. I don't need much, and I need trouble less. But after this, oh, I get it. I came here to give the Brotherhood a chance to make things right. Else maybe I go to Crater and start doing things their way. At least they don't pretend to be the good guys. All right. What else did you want? Don't blow me off like I'm making this up. These people have a responsibility to fix this. They had the power armor, and they said they were Brotherhood. Sorry I didn't make sure to ask proof when they had me at gunpoint. I'm a scavenger mainly. Always been pretty good with a set of tools, so I do all right for myself, scrapping and fixing things. I trade what I find or fix with the folks at Foundation when I need something I can't get otherwise. Mostly, I like to be left alone. Listen, I don't have much, but what's mine is mine, and these people took that from me. The Brotherhood pretends like they're noble, but then they let this happen? In their name? Raiders don't act like something they're not, and at least the gangs defend their own. Then tell them, and get them to do something about it.
Alright, check
We're
out
here
the
to
next.
protect the people. We'll learn that in time.
Alright, next.
Hey! Yeah, you. Who do I need to talk to around here? You know, about the guns? You don't look like one of these Brotherhood yahoos. Name's Tally Lane. What's your deal? Shin? He the scary guy with the stick up his butt? Alright, shoot. What? Me? A raider? No. A little old me? Don't be silly.
Alright, let's try the Raider one.
Hey, Ixnay on the Air Crate. You trying to blow this for me? Listen, my gang could really use those guns, so don't screw this up for me. If anybody asks, just pretend like you bought the act, okay?
Really?
Yeah, that's right. Big shiny guns. Now, all the talk in the area is about these Brotherhood folks with their high-tech toys, and I thought, Tally, you gotta get some of that. For self-defense, of course. Just so me and some of my poor, innocent friends can protect ourselves from all the nasty folks out there.
Oh, terrible.
Okay, I get it. Promises backfire all the time. Well, go get him, Tiger.
Okay, that's two. Where did two
Look on
go?
the railroad track in.
Yep.
Well, now look at you. You with these Steel brother fellas? I've been waiting a good spell to talk to them. Well, it's about time. I'd like to die of old age waiting on them. Name's Artnap. So, what's this Knight fella sent you for? A fair trade's what I want. I've heard stories about these Steel types back in the day. They was going around taking things from folks. For the cause, they said. Yeah, like that don't make them raiders too. Well, I ain't got much. I already got to worry about raiders. So, I reckon it's better to make a deal up front. My farm don't produce much. I got some extra. I expect they'll have a use for it. In return, I want these Steel boys and girls to keep raiders away from my farm. There's a lot of noise they was on our side. So, seems fair.
California members show
I'm not going anywhere just yet. Shoot. Got seed in the ground right now. I ain't yet seen a raider willing to scrabble in the soil for seeds, so I reckon it'll get by till I'm back. before they bombed the daylights out of everything, folks used to pay taxes in exchange for the government doing what it was supposed to do. Raiders will just take everything. This is a trade. Fair is fair, and a deal's a deal. I ain't care for people poking their noses into my business, but if a bushel or two to these Brotherhood keeps the raiders away, I can live with it. Could be.
Alright, one more to go.
Make it quick.
Yes. Something I can help you with? I am waiting to speak with a Brotherhood representative. I have no interest in small talk with strangers. The severe gentleman in the power armor, yes. Dr. Edgar Blackburn at your service. And what did Knight Shin want to know? I had heard that the Brotherhood possessed advanced technology. As a doctor and a scientist, this was of great interest. My research is always in need of equipment and materials rather difficult to obtain by scavenging and bartering. I came to see if an arrangement could be made, but from what I can see of their operations, they are as yet still in too much disarray. Given the state of my fellow supplicants, I would hypothesize that their needs likely outweigh my own. Very well. What did you wish to know? Their hygiene standards are better than a lot at Crater, but no. I prefer to work in solitude. One day, perhaps, my research will be of benefit to them and all the other people of Appalachia. It would be difficult to express it in layman's terms. No offense intended. In essence, I have been studying the illnesses of Appalachia. For too long, people have relied on folk remedies and makeshift medicines. The long-term effects of this environment are concerning. Just because the radiation is survivable does not mean it is safe. Very well, then. Perhaps we can be of assistance to one another, should our paths cross again.
Alright, let's go ahead and talk back to Shin again.
This ration request doesn't even have a name on it. Have you finished the task I gave you? Good. Let's get this done. I have the list from their arrival. Give me the high-level overview. The Brotherhood is not a charity, and our mission does not cover providing civilians with equipment to pursue their personal interests, unless the Doctor intends to provide that research to the Brotherhood exclusively, and under our supervision, he will get nothing.
Fort Atlas is in good hands. Knight Shin's true as well.
That shows commendable discipline. Scribe Valdez may have interest if he returns, but if so, he is her problem. That appears to resolve the matter on our end. Next report.
Okay.
We are not mercenaries here to serve as guards for anyone with some goods to trade in payment. That's irrelevant. The Brotherhood cannot simply be hired out to every farmer and homesteader. We have our own concerns. Enough about that. What's next? No. We are not arms dealers. That aligns with my observation of her when she arrived. Your judgment may be better than I expected. Moving on. Impossible. Whatever happened, it was not us. There are countless brigands out there, civilian. It is not the job of the Brotherhood to hunt them down one by one for their crimes. I will say it bothers me to hear that someone is abusing the honor of the Brotherhood this way. But that does not change the facts. Mr. Hockman's problems are his own, not ours. That's everything. Against my initial judgment, You have shown that you can take orders and make yourself useful for the Brotherhood. You need to lose those soft civilian instincts, but I will make note of your assistance in my report to Paladin Rahmani. Should you wish to join our ranks, I will not oppose your enlistment. I grant you permission, provisionally, to enter the compound proper. Go to our scribe Valdez. You will need her support as well if you want Paladin Rahmani's attention. What I am going to do is make the recommendations I see fit in my report to Paladin Rahmani. As the commanding officer, the final decisions will be hers. And your concern in the matter ends here. Be vigilant, outsider.
Alright.
This place is kind of a dump.
The fight is just beginning. Stay disciplined.
There we go.
The real world has so much to teach us. Like I said before.
Alright, let's go ahead and get that plan going real quick. There we go. I don't think I have any other notes. Nope. Okay. We'll have something to eat though. If the bug doesn't happen. There we go.
Cut ourselves free from America to rebuild America.
Okay.
Take the old and forge it anew.
If you're here to join up,
Valdez.
you need to go through the proper channels. Hello, civilian. I don't mean to be rude, but what exactly are you doing up here? Oh, a prospective initiate. The Knight Shin sent you. And I guess we're both in luck. Paladin Rahmani makes the call on new recruits, but the Knight and I have some influence. It just so happens I'm in need of someone to help me out on a little mission. If you're interested, I can bring you along and put you to work. Do a good job, and I'll send a recommendation your way. How about it? Didn't even have to think about it, did you? Let me give you a quick rundown of the mission before we start. Our new base is littered with old technology, but there's something in particular I want to investigate. It's down in the bowels of this place, a part of Atlas that we've cornered off. I'm not keen on going alone, so I'd like some backup. Any questions before we start? Great. Unfortunately, I need to finish up a few things here. Head downstairs and I'll meet you in a bit. What's the word from the wasteland?
There we go. Merp. Alright, let's wait for a scribe. Oh, there we go.
Good, you're here. So, how do you feel about reading comprehension? I was hoping to start out by sweeping the area for documentation left behind from before the war. Are you trying to get on my good side? Because that's how you get on my good side. But enough about that. I'd like to get started. Let's head downstairs and see what we can turn up.
Aren't we already downstairs? Is there more stairs to go down? Oh, there's more stairs. Wait. That wasn't it. Where's... Oh, these stairs. Ha! Let's see what we got. Fuse is good. Keys is always useful. Alright, let's see what else we got. Collect documentation. Got it. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, wait. She's having fun. I am in the wrong way again. God, oh, she got that one. There's another one down. Another one down. And another one down. Ooh, and level. Okay. Oh, I collected the one document. Okay, so that's one down. Let me go ahead and do that level up real quick, at least just to get the perk pack. Alright. I have that. Let's go ahead and get some perception up, and I got something new yet. There we go. Slowly regen radiation damage between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. And that is a poor man's what rats. So right now it's actually night, so it's not gonna happen now. So I just want to show off real quick the radiation regen. So got a few more minutes until 6 a.m. And so having Sunkissed there, slowly regen radiation between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. So there we go. Slowly regen that. And because I'm in my camp as well, it's a bit of a double whammy, but I can actually go outside of my camp. Yeah, so because it's after 6 a.m., my radiation, I don't think it actually even shows that anywhere. But yeah, so my amount of radiation is actually going down. And that's just because it's daytime. And it's really nice when you're just like out and about, and even just like exploring. And there's a another thing I can take for it. Although that one actually seems pretty nice. So yeah, and then at my camp, my health can just regenerate as well. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Okay. But it will help when it's daylight. Alright, next documentation.
This looks like what we need.
More stuff there. You can just pause the read if you're wanting to see what they say.
Here's a document. This must be Dr. Hammond, Atlas's lead scientist. We recovered some of his holotapes and logs in our initial sweep of the area. This tech down here is his handiwork, and he couldn't give it up. Even after the war, I should make arrangements for a proper burial. I think this is good. Let's talk for a sec. That should be enough to start. Let me take a look. Atlas decommission report. So the project was in bad shape after all? Oh, I knew it sounded too good to be true. Fascinating. Wow. This is some seriously classified stuff that I just let you read, isn't it? I wasn't supposed to show you any of this. Well, Knight Shin did send you, so I guess I can trust you with a little information. There's only so much I can tell you, but I'll share what I feel is relevant. Atlas wasn't exactly an observatory before the war. That was just a front. The military conducted research here. Pretty advanced research. We're down here to investigate and see what's worth salvaging for the Brotherhood. I did ask you to help, after all. It's only fair you're prepared for what you might find. Now, Let's follow up on some leads from this report. I'd like to do a quick inspection of some key components that should be nearby. There's probably a terminal around here. If it's still running, we can do a diagnostics test. That will tell us about some of the less accessible hardware. The report mentioned that the machine's intake pump was under a lot of pressure. Let's find the release valve for that and give it a spin, see what happens. Finally, the lower core on this level should have a wiring box. Why don't we take a glance at that to get an idea of the electrical hookups?
Alright.
Should be a simple inspection. You can have point, but I'll be looking over your shoulder the whole way. Take note of the details and we'll discuss how it goes after.
Okay. Sneaking in this time. Alright, what's this one do?
Interesting.
Okay. One done. Let's see here. Let's examine the wiring. Where's the wiring at? There it is.
Looks like we've got company.
Oh, shit. Oh, they're gonna aggro anyway? Oh, actually, hang on. Yeah. Man.
Close one.
Oop. There we go. Okay. Examine the wiring. Let's go ahead and try the valve. Oh, Jesus.
Let's talk. All right, let's go over the inspection results. The diagnostics check revealed some issues. Flux disruption in the induction loop, intake valves ruptured, and the ion focus? All right, let's go over the diagnostics flux disruption. Misaligned. Problematic to say the least. Next, we have the release valve. That went. Well, what was your assessment?
Explosive.
It certainly did. I'm going to mark that down as bad. Last but not least, the wiring. The wires were...
shredded.
Yep. I think the warm reception they gave us also points to that. Okay, well, sorry about the pop quiz, but in general, you're handling yourself well so far. Nobody does, outside of a classroom. That's why I love to evaluate new prospects this way. If I'm going to recommend you to Paladin Rahmani, I need to know you're serious. Can you pay attention? Think on your feet? If you can, you earn my favor. If you can't, then, well, maybe I reconsider my recommendation. I'm worried about what our inspection turned up. There are a few parts I'd like to extract and examine in my lab. There's the pressure gauge, the core processor, and the ion focus. They should be upstairs. There's a lot I can learn from examining them if we can pull them out and get them back to my lab in decent condition. I want to take some notes on the core up there, so I'm going to leave the parts removal to you. Each extraction will be a little different, but in general, you'll want to use a light touch. I want the components in good condition, so please be careful. Any questions, or are you ready to get started?
Nah,
I'm counting on you. Let's see what you can do.
Okay, everything. Oh, there's actually one thing right. Oh, I guess everything is right upstairs. Okay, upstairs is in a direction. There we go. Oh, well, she popped up here. was like way up there. This is up there too. So I need to go up even further. There we go. Okay. And the last one. Oh, here we go. Maybe. Here we go.
Oh, I thought of one more thing. Can you pick up the induction coil up there on the machine?
See if I can ask her about it. No, I can't. Two thick wires attached, one rubber blue, low hum, and sound stack surrounds the device. The wires cackle. How'd you go about extracting it?
What's that? That doesn't sound good.
Ah, robots.
I hope we can still be friends when this is all over.
Should have spent more time.
Attention, citizens. You may now resume your normal activities.
Can't see with the
I
smoke.
calculate your chance of success to be, well, I don't want to be negative.
There we go. And I need to run away. Oh, balls. So I took out the arms and it decided to run away, and then I just took out the treads and now it can't move at all. And there we go. Okay.
Whew. Whatever you did up there, the security system sure didn't like it. Thanks for the backup. I doubt I could have handled that on my own. Now that that's over with, let me take a look at what you've collected. The pressure gauge looks like it's in good condition. The core processor is pristine. Good work on that. The ion focus looks usable. Impressive. The induction coil seems fine. That's a relief. And what is this? This is... Is this ultrasight? Fascinating. This looks like some kind of compact power source. None of the documents, none of the terminals said anything about this. Did this power the whole machine? The fuel of the future. I'd heard the stories, but to think I could hold so much energy in my hands like this? Project Atlas may be beyond our power to repair, but we might have something here. I expected the machine to use a small reactor's worth of energy. They condensed that into a container I can hold in my hands. I could do a lot with this. You were a big help. I'm sure you have what it takes to be an initiate, and soon. Here, take this letter to Paladin Rahmani. She'll make the final call on letting you into the Brotherhood, but my wreck may tip the scales. I'm going back upstairs to take a look at these components. I need to catalog our findings. If nothing else, this ultrasight battery has piqued my interest. There's a lot I could learn from reverse engineering it. Oh, I'm giving you access to my private terminal, too. It has all the logs we recovered from when we moved in. After what we just went through, I think you deserve to know more about Project Atlas. Take a look if you get some free time. Thanks again for your help, and good luck with the Paladin.
All right. Cool. She's just gonna stand there, huh? Okay, so the next part I'll be speaking with Paladin Rahmani. So that wasn't too bad for a first step for starting off with the Brotherhood of Steel. Alright, so next time, we'll go ahead and speak with Paladin Rahmani. But until then, thanks for watching.